Before we talk about money, let me ask you a simple question. What lives inside your mind is far more valuable than what sits inside your bank account. Wealth is not just a number, it is a reflection of your thinking, your beliefs, and the invisible architecture of your habits. If you want to get rich, the first fortune you must acquire is a mind free from poverty thinking. You see, poverty is not merely a lack of money. Poverty is a mindset, a subtle, silent agreement with limitation that lives within you like a shadow. To step into wealth, you must first step out of that shadow. Because, my friends, the road to riches doesn't begin with your wallet. It begins with your world view. Today, I want to talk about how the richest person you know isn't just rich in dollars. They're rich in their thinking, their daily rituals, and the value they choose to create. And if you want to join them, you must stop thinking like a poor person. If you want to get rich, the very first thing you must understand is that your financial destiny starts not with your bank account, not with your job title, but with your mindset. You see, wealth doesn't come from what's outside. It's born from what's inside. I've witnessed people with modest means rise to extraordinary success, and others with plenty struggle, all because of the way they thought. The difference isn't talent or luck, it's mindset. Success is not some grand secret guarded by the wealthy. It is simply the result of a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And these disciplines are rooted in how you think about money, opportunity, and yourself. The poor think scarcity. They see life as a limited pie, that if someone else takes a slice, there's less left for them. This scarcity thinking breeds fear, hesitation, and excuses. It convinces you to settle for less, to live small, and to avoid risks. But I want you to know, poverty is first and foremost a mindset before it becomes a circumstance. Changing your financial reality means changing how you view money and what's possible. It means replacing fear with curiosity, limitation with possibility, and hesitation with action. When you start thinking abundantly, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You stop complaining about what you don't have and start appreciating what you can create. You stop believing wealth is for others and start believing it is for you. In my own life, I remember starting with nothing but a vision and a decision to think differently. I wasn't born rich, but I was determined to become wealthy. I had to reprogram my mind to expect growth, to welcome challenges as lessons, and to see failure as a stepping stone, not a roadblock. Every day I practiced this mental discipline. I read, I listened, I took action. Slowly but surely, those thoughts transformed into habits, those habits into results, and results into wealth. Your financial future is a reflection of your mental habits. It's not about where you start, but how you think and what you do consistently. If you keep thinking like a poor person, you'll keep living like one. But if you're willing to upgrade your mindset, you can start the journey to wealth today. Change your mind, and you change your life. Money itself carries no moral weight. It's neither good nor bad. It's simply a tool, a form of exchange that reflects the value you create in the world. Yet, most people are trapped in the misconception that money is something to be feared, hoarded, or even despised. They see it as a limited resource, as something scarce that must be guarded jealously or fought over. This scarcity mindset not only limits their financial growth, but also poisons their relationship with wealth. But here's a different perspective that changes everything. Money is neutral. It doesn't care about your emotions, your beliefs, or your circumstances. It simply flows toward value. When you understand this, your entire approach to money shifts. Instead of chasing money for its own sake, you begin to focus on creating value-solving problems, meeting needs, and serving others in ways that matter. Wealth is the natural byproduct of meaningful contribution. Think about the people you admire who have accumulated wealth. They didn't just sit and wait for money to fall into their laps. They created something useful, something valuable, and money followed. It's like a river flowing downhill. It naturally moves toward the place where value has been built. The wealthy understand this principle deeply. They don't see money as the goal, but as the scorecard, the measure of how much value they've contributed. In my own experience, early in my career, I struggled with seeing money as a limited prize to be fought over. But once I realized that money rewards value, I shifted my focus. Instead of worrying about getting paid, I concentrated on how to serve better, how to learn more, how to improve my skills and contribute more. That simple change in perspective changed everything. Suddenly, opportunities opened, clients came, and money flowed more freely than I could have imagined. The lesson here is clear. If you want to get rich, stop thinking about money as the enemy or the scarce resource. Start thinking about value creation as your mission. The more value you bring to the world, the more money will find its way to you. It's not magic, it's the natural order of things. Money is neutral. What counts is the value you create. Shift your focus and wealth will follow. There's a mindset that traps many people in a cycle of endless work. The idea that the only way to get ahead is to trade every hour of their life for $1. I must work harder, they say. But that's poor thinking, plain and simple. When you look at it closely, it's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much effort you pour in, it only goes so far before it's drained away by time and exhaustion. Wealthy thinking flips this script entirely. Instead of asking, how hard can I work? They ask, how can I make my money work harder for me? This is the mindset that builds freedom and security. It's about moving beyond the confines of trading time for money and stepping into building asset systems that keep generating income whether you're awake or asleep. Think about it this way. If your income depends solely on your daily effort, then your earning potential is limited by how many hours you can physically work. But assets, on the other hand, are money-making machines. These could be investments, rental properties, royalties, businesses, or any system that produces cash flow without requiring your constant presence. The wealthy focus on developing these assets because they understand the true power of leverage using what they already have to create more. Early on, I learned this lesson the hard way. I worked long hours, pouring sweat and energy into jobs that paid me only when I showed up. It was exhausting and the limits were clear. But when I started investing time and money into assets that generated ongoing income, like a small business or intellectual property, I saw a new horizon open. Suddenly, my financial growth wasn't tethered to my daily grind, it expanded exponentially. This shift from working for money to having money work for you is not just smart, it's necessary if you want real wealth. It frees you from the tyranny of the clock and allows your resources to multiply. The moment you stop trading your time for money and begin building assets that work around the clock, you take control of your financial destiny. Stop living like your paycheck depends on every hour you work. Instead, build systems and assets that create wealth 24/7. That's the path out of scarcity and into abundance. Let me tell you something that many people overlook. Wealth isn't a sudden event, a lightning strike of fortune, or some mysterious gift handed to a lucky few. Wealth is a quiet, steady process of gradual accumulation shaped by the countless small decisions you make every single day. It's the compound effect of your daily habits quietly building a foundation beneath your feet that will either hold strong or crumble over time. Think about how a house is built. It doesn't rise overnight. Each brick is carefully placed, every beam is measured and set. The same goes for your financial life. Every habit you develop, whether it's saving a portion of your income, investing in your education, or seeking out new opportunities is like laying a brick in the structure of your future prosperity. You might not see the full house today, but rest assured, what you build now determines what you'll live in tomorrow. When I was younger, I noticed that some people always seemed to be chasing the next big break, the next lottery ticket, hoping that luck would finally turn their fortunes around. But their habits were scattered, inconsistent. Meanwhile, others quietly saved, read, studied, and invested often without anyone noticing. Those habits compounded like interest in a bank account. Over time, they created wealth, stability, and freedom. The key is understanding that these habits don't just influence your bank balance, they shape your mindset, your discipline, and your capacity for growth. When you save regularly, you're teaching yourself discipline. When you read daily or learn new skills, you're expanding your capacity to create value. When you invest wisely, you're putting your money to work for you. These habits, repeated day after day, become the unseen architects of your destiny. If you want to change your financial future, start by examining your daily habits. Are they building toward abundance, or are they slowly draining your potential? The truth is, your financial results tomorrow are a direct reflection of what you do today. So choose your habits carefully, nurture them with intention, and watch how they build the life you desire. Remember, wealth is never an accident. It is the natural consequence of your daily choices, compounded over time. There's a powerful truth I want you to sit with. Your financial destiny isn't just shaped by what you do, it's shaped by what you're willing to accept from yourself. Too many people settle for less than they deserve. They settle for mediocre results, average effort, and a life that doesn't challenge them. But if you want to get rich, if you want to create something lasting and meaningful, you have to raise your standards and refuse to settle for anything less than excellence. Discipline is what bridges the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. It's not flashy, it's not glamorous, but it's the steady, quiet force that turns goals into accomplishments. It's easy to say you want wealth, but what do your actions say? Are you disciplined in how you spend your time, your money, and your energy? Are you holding yourself to a higher standard even when no one else is watching? That's where the real growth happens, in those small moments when you choose excellence over ease, consistency over comfort. When I reflect on my own journey, I realize the turning point came when I stopped making excuses and started demanding more of myself. I stopped accepting laziness, procrastination, and half-hearted efforts. I began to set standards for my work ethic, my habits, and the company I kept. And let me tell you, that shift made all the difference. Suddenly, doors started opening because I was showing up as someone who took their future seriously. Poor thinking tolerates mediocrity because it's easier. It's less risky, less demanding. But rich thinking demands excellence, say no perfection, but a commitment to doing your best, learning from mistakes, and continually improving. It's about setting a standard that aligns with the life you want, then living by it every day. So ask yourself, what are you currently accepting from yourself that's holding you back? What standards can you raise today that will push you closer to your financial goals? The moment you decide to refuse mediocrity, you step onto a new path where discipline becomes your ally and success becomes inevitable. Excellence isn't just a habit, it's a mindset. And that mindset will carry you far beyond where you are now. Let me share something you might not want to hear, but it's the truth that separates those who grow wealthy from those who remain stuck. Comfort zones breed poverty. It's not just about money, it's about life itself. When you cling to what's easy, safe, and familiar, you're placing a limit on your potential. Growth, true growth, demands you to embrace discomfort, to step into the unknown with courage, and to be willing to feel uneasy. Think about the times in your life when you've made your biggest leaps. Were those moments wrapped in comfort and ease, or did they come dressed in challenge, uncertainty, and risk? The wealthy have learned a secret. They get comfortable being uncomfortable. Whether it's investing in themselves through learning new skills, taking calculated risks in business, or delaying instant gratification to build something that lasts, they face discomfort head on. That willingness to walk through the discomfort is what allows their dreams to expand. I recall the early days when I was working hard but hadn't yet mastered the mindset for success. I wanted quick results, easy wins, and the comfort of certainty. But the moment I realized that discomfort was the price I had to pay for growth, everything changed. I started saying yes to challenges that scared me. I delayed pleasure for the sake of long-term gain. And yes, it was uncomfortable. There were failures, moments of doubt, and sacrifices. But I also discovered that discomfort was a sign I was moving forward, not backward. You see, discomfort is a signal, not a stop sign. It's your mind and body's way of telling you that you're stretching beyond your limits. The poor avoid this feeling because it's unpleasant, but the wealthy lean into it because they understand it's necessary. They know that every new skill learned, every risk taken, every delayed desire builds resilience and expands their capacity to succeed. So, if you want to grow rich, don't run from discomfort toward it. Let it be your guide, your teacher, and your companion on this journey. Growth is not comfortable, but it is the only way to break free from poverty. Embrace it. That's where transformation lives. Let me tell you something important. The way you see problems will either keep you trapped or set you free. Many people spend their lives avoiding problems or pointing fingers, blaming circumstances or other people for their troubles. But the wealthy have a different approach. They've trained themselves to see problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities, hidden doorways to something better. It's a shift in perspective that changes everything. Think about it. Every problem you've faced in your life carried within it the seed of a solution, the chance for growth, and often a path to profit. The question is, do you have the eyes to see it? Or do you see only the difficulty, the pain, the inconvenience? I remember early on in my journey, when challenges seemed overwhelming. I could have given in to frustration or blame, but instead I chose to ask, what is this teaching me? How can this problem open a new door? Some of the greatest successes I know came from turning a problem inside out. If a customer complained, that was an opportunity to improve service and create loyalty. If a business deal fell through, it was a chance to pivot and find a better deal. Problems aren't the enemy, they are the raw material from which success is built. The wealthy understand this because they've practiced it. They respond to setbacks with curiosity and determination rather than despair and defeat. Poor thinkers see problems as dead ends. Wealthy minds see them as stepping stones. This is a mindset that must be cultivated. It doesn't come naturally to most, but it can be learned. Start small when you face a challenge today. Don't react with fear or frustration. Pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what opportunity does this problem present? Over time, this habit rewires your brain to be alert to possibilities where others only see walls. Remember, success is often hidden in the problem itself. The difference between those who prosper and those who falter is not the absence of problems, but the presence of the right mindset to turn problems into profit. Choose to see the opportunity today. One of the most powerful truths I've come to understand over the years is that wealth is not created by simply knowing things, it's created by doing. Too many people spend their lives accumulating knowledge, reading books, attending seminars, and yet they remain stuck because they never translate that knowledge into action. The difference between those who get rich and those who don't is not a lack of information, it's the willingness to apply what they've learned consistently. Think about it this way. Knowledge without action is like a car without fuel. It looks impressive, it has potential, but it won't get you anywhere. When I was starting out, I devoured every piece of wisdom I could find, from books on business to lessons in discipline to stories of others' successes and failures. But the turning point came when I decided to take those lessons off the page and put them into motion. Every idea I applied, every habit I formed moved me one step closer to the financial future I wanted. Lifelong learning is essential because the world never stops changing. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. But the key is not just to learn, it's to learn and then act and then learn again. This cycle is what keeps you ahead, keeps you adapting, keeps your mind sharp. It's not enough to attend a seminar or read a book and think that's the end. You must ask yourself, quote, what did I learn that I can do differently today? How can I change my habits based on this new knowledge? I've seen people with less talent or fewer resources succeed simply because they never stopped learning and applying. Meanwhile, many talented individuals stall because they wait for perfect conditions or more information. Wealth is a moving target, and the only way to hit it is through continuous improvement, step by step, day by day. So commit yourself not just to learning, but to action. Let your knowledge become the foundation of new habits, new opportunities, and new results. Because in the end, it's what you do with what you know that determines your financial destiny. The path to wealth is a journey of constant growth. Embrace it fully. One of the biggest traps that keeps people locked in poverty thinking is waiting to feel ready. They tell themselves, I'll start when the timing is right, or I need more training before I begin. But here's the truth. Readiness is not a prerequisite for success. It's a result of action, not the other way around. You don't wait for confidence to come. You build confidence by taking the first step, then the next, then the one after that. In my own life, I can recall countless moments when I didn't feel fully prepared. When I was younger, I wanted to start my business, but doubts and fears whispered, "You're not ready yet." Yet I understood something crucial. The perfect moment rarely arrives. If I waited for perfect conditions, I'd still be waiting. Instead, I acted. I started small, I learned from mistakes, and with every action, my confidence grew. Taking action creates momentum. It's like pushing a heavy boulder uphill at first. It barely moves, But with persistence, that boulder gains speed and eventually rolls forward on its own. When you act, you open doors to opportunities you didn't even know existed. You meet people, solve problems, and gain experience that no amount of planning or waiting could provide. Waiting for readiness is just another form of procrastination. It's a subtle excuse disguised as patience. But make no mistake, the wealthy don't wait. They understand that success is a process, and every action taken is a step toward becoming ready for what's next. They don't wait for clarity. They gain clarity through action. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, stop right now. Start where you are with what you have. Your future self will thank you for the courage to begin. Acting your way into readiness is one of the most powerful shifts you can make on your journey to wealth. The secret is simple. Don't wait to be ready. Become ready by doing. Your financial reality is never just about numbers in a bank account or the size of your paycheck. It's a mirror reflecting what's happening inside you, the standards you hold for yourself, the vision you carry for your life, and the beliefs that quietly steer your decisions. If you want more wealth, the starting point isn't in external circumstances. It's within your own mindset and character. Think about it. When you raise your inner standards, your outer world naturally shifts. When you demand more of yourself, expect more, and refuse to settle for less, your actions align with those higher standards. The habits you develop, the choices you make, the way you handle setbacks all begin to transform because you are no longer willing to accept mediocrity. You become a person who attracts and creates greater opportunities because you believe you deserve them. I've seen this play out in my own life and in the lives of countless others. Those who aim small stay small. Those who dream bigger, who envision a life far beyond their current situation, begin to make decisions that match that vision. Wealth, then, isn't just a goal on a checklist. It's the natural consequence of becoming more disciplined, more focused, more resilient, and more generous. Your financial growth depends on expanding your vision of what's possible. If your dreams feel small, your wealth will likely remain small. But when you dare to see yourself as a person capable of greater achievement, your mindset shifts and so do your actions. You begin to take the kinds of steps that build lasting wealth because you are aligned with the person you are becoming. Remember, wealth isn't a place you arrive at, it's a state you grow into. It is the reflection of your highest self showing up in your daily life. So invest in yourself, first raise your standards, broaden your vision, and nurture beliefs that support abundance. When you do, wealth won't be chasing you, it will be following naturally. Your inner world creates your outer results. Make it rich. As we come to the close of this conversation, remember this. Wealth is not a distant destination reserved for the lucky few. It is the natural outcome of the person you choose to become today in every thought, habit, and decision. The difference between living in scarcity and embracing abundance begins in your mind. Your mindset shapes your actions build your habits, and your habits create your future. So, I challenge you now, stop thinking like a poor person. Let go of limiting beliefs that have held you back and start seeing money as a tool for value creation, not just survival. Raise your standards, embrace discomfort, and act boldly even when you don't feel ready. Build assets that work for you and see problems as opportunities waiting to be unlocked. Begin right now by asking yourself, what small habit can I change today that will compound into wealth tomorrow? What mindset shift will unlock the door to my potential? Your future is in your hands, and the path to wealth is paved with daily choices. Decide today to think differently, act decisively, and become the person who attracts true abundance. The journey to your richest life starts with one step. Take it now.